Grand Rising family, Grand Rising family. So let's talk about it. Today, let's talk about therapy. And I want to talk about therapy in a real way. A lot of people have their own opinion about therapy, their own misconception, or their own right idea about it. But I just want to break down therapy and what it actually means, what it actually is. Because a lot of us associate therapy to what's commercialized. And what's commercialized to us when it comes to therapy is going into a room, sitting with someone, sitting on a chair, talking about your life. They analyze your life. They give you their uh, perspective on your life. And and just gives you breakdowns of your own life. That's the commercialized form of therapy. But therapy is real. And real therapy is when you actually are really searching for real solutions in your real life. So, for example, this is real therapy. Real therapy is when you yourself can take time out of your day. Let's say therapy, normal therapy session is 3 times a week, so for an hour. So let's say Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So now let's say Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Every day you find and just an hour, and you do your own self reflection, and you reflect on your life. You see where you're losing at, and you'll be able to pinpoint why you're losing in that situation. Why is that a constant loss? Why are you constantly losing if it's to, because remember, this is, and I also want this to be known, this is a spiritual thing. So therapy is for your spiritual growth. It isn't really for your mental health. It's for your spiritual health. Um, and with that being said, so when you're able to evaluate yourself, you're able to see how you're losing spiritually. When you're actually able to reflect on yourself, you're able to see, how am I losing spiritually? Am I losing to lust? Am I losing to envy? Am I losing to jealousy? These are the things that commercialized therapy doesn't push, because, like I said, they push mental health. I'm pushing spiritual health. So, spiritual health is when you're taking time out of your day, daily, day to day, and you are reflecting on what what loss did I take yesterday? How many times did I lust? How many times did I envy? How many times was I jealous? How many times did I act out of greed? This is real therapy, because you are really analyzing your actual life. You're actually reflecting on your actual life. No one's gonna keep it realer with themselves than themselves. You're gonna keep it realer with you way more than you keep it realer with a therapist, your mom, your brother, your spouse. You're gonna keep it 1,000 with yourself before someone else. So even if you don't keep it real with yourself, you can keep it realer with yourself than with somebody else. So with that being said, damn, I lusted 5 times. Damn, I did think about doing this with that person. Damn, I did think about hurting that person. Oh, damn, I did think about taking that person's chain. You know what's going on in your mental frame, which controls your spiritual realm. So that's why it goes hand in hand. Your mental goes with your spiritual, because what you put in your mind comes out spiritually, and what you feed your spirit is what your mind is going to move off of. So I just really wanted to talk about the importance of therapy, and not the commercialized where you need to go sit down with someone. No, you need to sit down with yourself. You need to sit down in a quiet place, an hour, 30 minutes, whatever. But daily would be amazing. But if you can do it a couple times a week, where you actually just sit, quietness, no phone in your hand, not even no phone in the room, and just reflect on your life, and dang, why am I not here? Or, damn, I'm here. You know what I mean? So it's for you to reflect on that, and by you having that reflection, that's your therapy. So therapy is a real thing. Therapy is needed. We all need therapy, but not in that commercialized way. Not in a way where you need to sit with a stranger and tell them your life, because you're not going to feel comfortable. Some people never feel comfortable doing that. I have not ever done that, but I feel comfortable talking to myself every day. I feel comfortable reflecting on myself every day. I feel comfortable calling myself out. I built that confidence with myself. So that's how I myself can say I know therapy is a wonderful thing when you understand what therapy really is. Therapy isn't, oh, I gotta go to this lady, sit down, talk to her. She gonna give me her perception and on why this is happening to me. Why, when you know why it's happening to you. If you took the time from stop being busy, stop rushing around, stop adding things to your list that's wasting your time, stop just wasting your time. Actually be mindful of your days, be mindful of your hours, because that's how therapy can actually give you that leg up in life, is by you really reflecting, by you really sitting back and thinking like, dang, I went from here to here. I'm proud of that. Or man, I went from here to here. I'm not so proud of that. That's what you need to do far as therapy goes. So that's why therapy is a wonderful and an amazing thing to have and an amazing thing to do. But it is not when you think about it in a commercial sense of talking to strangers about your life. I don't know about that. Some people do it. Some people, that may be their thing. But I'm talking about spiritual therapy. When you sit down and you are reflecting about your life in your mind, it can't even come out because it's spiritually. You actually like reminiscing. You know what I mean? When you're talking to somebody, you're thinking, but when you're reminiscing, it's different. It's spiritual. So I just want to get on here and let everybody know that therapy is an amazing thing when used properly. When you commercialize it and put it out like you're crazy for going to therapy, of course, yeah, because you sit with somebody talking about your personal life, that does seem very crazy. But when you sit down with yourself and you talking about your own personal life to yourself, that seems amazing. And I guarantee you'll see growth, therapeutic growth. It's for the spirit, it's for the mind, it's definitely for the body. So therapy is the word for today, and I'm glad you guys tapped in with me. Till tomorrow.